Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary. It is Monday, February the 4th. I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. The founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. And this is my Canucks take, all in one take. The Vancouver Canucks lost to the Philadelphia Flyers. They lost 2-1, a game that they dominated certain portions of the game, especially the third period, outshooting the Flyers 18-4 in that final frame. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. Carter Hart made 42 saves, actually made that 41 saves. The Canucks had 42 shots on goal. So Carter Hart made 41 saves. Excellent performance by the rookie, backstopping the Flyers to a victory. Their 8th straight victory. The Canucks dropped to 1-1 on this road trip, but they are still in sole possession of 8th place in the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. I may end up breaking down the game a little bit tomorrow. Really, there was only one Canucks goal to talk about on the heels of a 3-0 that they gave up. Puck gets put back in the Flyer zone. Hart actually makes a poor play, his only poor play of the game, and Besser puts it into the empty net. But what I want to talk about today is it was crazy from a standpoint of injuries. And with the game, for the Canucks that is, and the day started off, I talked about it this morning, when we found out that Sven Baertschi would not be playing. In fact, he'll be sent home from Denver. And I talked about, maybe some sort of speculation as to what the injury may or may not be. And I detailed that in my video from this morning. But then we get to the game, and if we go in chronological order of how things happened and leading up to the worst one, first Thatcher Demko apparently tweaked something in the pregame warm-up. So Michael DiPietro will be called up to back up Jacob Markstrom tomorrow in Washington. So not even an AHL goalie, not even a Utica goalie, rather Michael DiPietro, who's playing in the Ontario Hockey League. That's because the Canucks have no AHL guys signed to a pro contract right now, and Richard Bachman is injured. So Thatcher Demko gets injured in the pregame warm-up. We don't hear about this until midway through the game or halfway through the second or third period. I can't remember when. I actually didn't see the game. I was at work, but I came home to watch all the highlights, the gruesome highlights. So Michael DiPietro gets called up because Thatcher Demko hurts himself in the warm-up. Then just 2 minutes in the game, Elias Pettersson, our prized rookie, skating hard on the back check after giving the puck over, turning the puck over, giving the puck away on a first period power play. Not even 2 minutes in the game, he races back. He tries to break up the 2-on-1 that he caused with his turnover. Edler was sliding to try and block the pass. Pettersson trips over Edler. They both crashed in the boards. Very scary. Pettersson got up very slowly, glided to the bench. Thankfully, barely missed a shift, came back and played for the rest of the game. And although he didn't have any points and it wasn't his most dangerous Pettersson ever, thankfully, it looks like he was healthy and he came back without an injury. So that a very scary moment, given that, we've been talking, I talked about in the video earlier this morning about what would the Canucks be if he was, how much better would they be if he didn't get injured for those 11 games. We're almost seeing a third injury for him on the season, but thankfully it was not meant to be. Unfortunately, we can't say the same for Edler. Edler had another mishap with about 10 minutes to go in the third period. His stick got caught in Jacob Voracek's skate as they were crossing in front of Markstrom. And because his stick got caught in his skate, both of Edler's hands were on his stick, and he awkwardly fell to the ice, and he smashed his face against the ice. A very, very scary moment. They brought the stretcher out right away. They brought trainers from both teams out. Many Canucks players, almost a dozen of them surrounding Edler, a few Flyers players around. Maybe about 5 or 6 minute delay as the crowd in Philly went silent. Obviously, all of them, Canucks fans, Flyers fans, all concerned for Alex Edler, players and coaches from both teams. Really, really at a standstill as we saw them apply a towel to his face to stop the blood, wipe up the blood on the ice, and really secure his leg even as they went off. So they wheeled him off. Thankfully, he wasn't lying prone back on his back, but still he was sitting up after about a 5 or 6 minute delay. Very, very scary moment, a very innocent play. Jacob Voracek in a classy move. He patted, Edler on the leg kind of thing and checked on him. He was the last guy to check on him, actually, as Edler was leaving the ice as he was being wheeled off. But a very, very scary moment. We know that after the game, he was seen walking around in a tracksuit, as opposed to a suit, which the Canucks usually do, or the players usually dress up in. And then, of course, he had an ice bag to his face, and he was on his way to the hospital to get x-rays done to see. So whether it's precautionary or whether they have to see what's going on, is it a fracture, is it a bruise, whatever it may be, I'm sure we will find out in the next couple of days. So very scary moment, and all this talk about will Edler waive his no trade clause? Will he be traded for assets at the deadline? Should the Canucks try and re-sign him? Kind of takes a back seat. It's very secondary right now to the fact that we hope and we pray that Alex Edler is indeed okay, that he'll have a quick recovery. And of course, from the Canucks standpoint, you don't want him out too long. Nothing to do with upping his trade value, just because the Canucks need him as their best defenseman this year. But more importantly, as a person and for his family, you hope that it's not a serious injury, and then he's indeed recovering quickly, and that he's back in the Canucks lineup. So I just want to check in with a quick update. Started with Baertschi being flown home, and then it ended off with Pietro being called up for Demko, Pettersson almost injuring himself in the first 2 minutes of the game, and of course Alex Edler's unfortunate accident halfway through the third period. Canucks fans, leave a comment below. You can comment. I don't know what you want to comment on. Any of those injuries, any of those implications, what your thoughts were when you saw Pettersson going to the boards, or when you saw Edler hit his face on the ice. Scary moments, all of them to be sure. But I'd love to read and react and reply to your comments down below. I'll probably check in tomorrow with an actual detailed, or at least a recap of the game, break it down a little bit, or maybe even preview tomorrow night's game against Washington, as the Canucks barely have any rest. We know Jacob Markstrom's going to start their third game in 4 days on this road trip, a chance to get back into the win column. So we pray. I'm going to be praying for Alex Edler and for his health. And, we're thankful that Pettersson seems like he escaped injury. We'll see what happens with Pietro getting good experience. And we're, with the big club, and we're still waiting on word on Sven Baertschi. All right, have a good night. Canucks lose 2-1, but more importantly, we hope and we pray for a safe recovery for Alex Edler as we wait for news tomorrow. Good night, God bless, and go Canucks go.